Welcome back, Lord of the Rings fans. This is the LTR Gamer YouTube channel. So this is video 4 of our 6-part series. So this would be our Two Towers block deck head-to-head simulated game. We have our Rohan deck versus our Ringbound Ranger deck. So unlike the other simulated game, we're going to do a little more close quarter combat style here, so we won't see the full game set, so I'll do some close-ups of any new cards or any cards that come into effect. So I guess just kind of pay attention to what's being played, I guess is the best thing. I'll try to pay attention myself of what I'm playing. I found in the last video it was a little too zoomed out, so it was just too hard to see what was on the table. So I think this might be a little better. And this time as well, I won't go through the whole setup because we kind of did that last time, and by now I kind of assume that everyone knows how to play, so we'll just kick right into it. So I've already kind of randomized who would go first, and it would be the Rohan deck. They won the random coin toss, so they went first, and it was also kind of on the assumption that both sides bid one burden first with the bidding process. So Rohan will go first. We use their side one, and just so everyone's aware of what that is, it's Western Emyn. So when the Fellowship moves from Western Emyn, each ringbound companion must exert. So sucks for these guys basically when it's their turn. And for figurines, so because the Ringbound Rangers have archery in it, they will be the machine gun figure for this time around. And because I can't remember, do the Rohan have shields? I can't remember offhand. I think they do. Yes, they do have the shields. So because the Rohan use the Rohirrim shields, that will be this guy. So hopefully I don't screw that up. All right. So Rohan will go first. Ignore the shadow cards. We don't have Theoden yet. We got Eowyn's sword. That's good. Rohirrim helm. Another Rohirrim helm. And all right. So we would definitely play Eowyn's sword for one, and I'll count the Twilight off to the side, off the camera as well. So hopefully you'll have to trust me on the math. And Eowyn's sword, so bear must be Eowyn. While you spot a villager, Eowyn is damage +1. So at this point, we have no villagers, so she is just strength +9. Or strength 9. So not too shabby to start. And then Rohirrim helm. And we got 2 of those. Discard this possession to cancel skirmish involving bear. A minion in this skirmish may exert to prevent this. I think at this point we'll play one. Probably on Eowyn for now. Just because she's our strongest companion, so she's most likely to fight. And then from here we would move. So because we're moving, we add 3 Twilight for the companions. Frodo would exert because of the sight. And then we add sight 2. So 3 for our opponent's sight 2. And then the site text for this, Rohan Village, each Dunlend man may not take wounds during the archery phase. It's good for them. There. So we have 8 to work with on the shadow side. So shadow's turn. Oh, we got some cheap Dunlend guys. That's good. So what do we got? We have if a man wins a skirmish, discard all conditions. So not really relevant right now since we don't have any conditions. But one thing I forgot to mention. So I couldn't find a second answer to all the riddles. Excuse me. For Frodo. So that's the better ring for the Two Towers block. As you can see over here, this Frodo doesn't have one. So we're going to play as if both Frodos is bearing this ring, just to keep an even playing ground. So both Frodos do have the +2 fatality. And then the text, if you can read that, while wearing the one ring, the bear is strength +2, and each time he's about to take a wound, you add a burden instead. Then you add a burden to wear the one ring until the regroup phase. So something else for us to remember. Again, this is a simulated game, so there will be some biases involved, but we'll try to keep it as fair and even as we can, of course. So we have 8. These guys are roaming. If another wins, so he'd cost 6, so it'd be too expensive to use Wolf's game text. So we can play both these guys. If this minion wins a skirmish, you may spot another one to control. Control 2. Okay. So we know Eowyn would kick either their butts. This guy would win, but then we can't use this game text, so then it's kind of a waste. And this deck is about controlling at least a couple sites, so we don't want to waste that. But then he also relies on another Dunlend winning a skirmish. We might want to hold on to him. So we're probably best just to play both these guys for all 8. Even though we know, well, one will beat Eomer and not really do much other than have him take a wound. But then it kind of frees up a couple of spots in our hand, so that's good. So we have no maneuvers from either side. Let me double check. Nothing on the other side. No archery or anything like that. So we move straight to assignment. And for us on the free people side, if this guy wins, he can spot another man to take control. So we would definitely want Eowyn to kill this guy, because we don't know if there's any boosts or whatever. But 9 versus 7, that's a pretty safe bet. And then we have 7 versus 7, so we would definitely, although actually now that I think about it, he would have to spot another one if he wins. It's kind of a gamble in a way, because if we wouldn't know for sure if there was any kind of boost. Do you try to kill the one he tries to spot? either way, if there's a plus 2 boost, you're kind of screwed either way, I believe, if I'm thinking of that correctly. Because no matter what, if there's a plus 2 boost in your opponent's hand, both skirmishers are going to be winners, so it doesn't really matter too much. So let's just keep it as is. Eowyn versus the Ransacker, the one who would win, and then spot to control a site. And yep, there's no boost there. So Ransacker dies. And then over here, the Elder versus Eärmir, and then Eärmir would take a wound. And then he would fall back. And then on the Rohirrim side, would we move again is the question. Only 2 wounds. It's always a risk, but if you're ever gonna move twice, usually moving twice to the site 3 is usually the time to do it. And we do have a second Rohirrim Helm. We could always use that on Eärmir. We know that, or sorry, on Eowyn. We know that Eärmir can just fight the Elder. They would get 3 Twilight for the companions, another 3, or is it usually 0 for site 3? I'd say let's just go for it. Why not? Oh, in this case, it's actually 1, so they would only get 4 Twilight. And again, they don't take any wounds during archery. All right, and then as the shadow side, got some good Free People's cards. We don't want to dump those yet. I'd probably discard this card so we can add 3 cards to our hands. Oh, and literally nothing else. We could play Wolf. I always screw that up. If another wins a skirmish. If another wins a skirmish, it could take control. Shoot, so this sucks because then they'll probably just put Eowyn, or this guy with Eowyn, and we need another Dunlend man to win a skirmish, so no sense wasting Wolf on that guy. So I would say let's hold off and then just let the Elder die to Eowyn and call it a day for that turn. All right. So now we reconcile, we move to our right. I know we've already discard and did all that jazz, and I don't think we would discard 1 card and draw a card because we just drew a pretty good mitt of Free People's cards. Keeping in mind that we're at site 1 and Ringbound Rangers will have to exert, so I don't think we would waste that just yet. Sam's Pack, that will be handy next turn. Start of each turn, you may add 2 to heal a Ringbound. So let's do Oopsies. Sam's pack for free. What else is for free over here? Oh. Boromir, my brother. Definitely a great card for free. Each time bearer wins a skirmish, you may heal another. Oh, that will be very good timing to get the banners, that's for sure. So we got one for those. One for those. And we also have the sword for one. Who should get it? So both are basically 9 and 8. One skirmishing roaming minions. And then we do have the boost there. Oh, excuse me. I'd say let's throw it on Faramir, make him beastly. That's another one, so it's 3. And then I would hold on to the Ranger for now because he's gonna get exerted. Anyways, so that's 3 plus 3 for the number of companions, plus 3 for the next site, and then everyone exerts. The Ranger, Faramir, and Frodo. They move. And then on the shadow side, we have to still draw 2 extra cards. Vision from afar. That might be our saving grace to at least get at least a burden. Let's go for now. At least to get one burden added. So the big, I know I mentioned in the last video, but this deck is quite lethal, except against ring-bound heavy decks. So ring-bound decks like that are Sam, Frodo, Smeagol heavy, or ring-bound Rangers. That's their kryptonite, because you need to each time this minion is assigned to an unbound companion. But cards like this assign Easterling to the or assign Easterling to the ring bearer. The free people may add a burden to prevent this. So cards like this at least help in that matter. And we have 9 to work with. So we need 2 to say for that. So we have 7 to work with. And we might as well have the strongest one out there. So we'll play Easterling Guard for 6. 6 because it's roaming. So that's in the shadow phase. In the maneuver phase, nothing else to add. Archery, nothing. Assignment phase, we'll pay 2 to assign the Easterling Guard to Frodo. Right now, that would be 9 versus 4. Of course, we could put on the ring to make Frodo strength +2 because he's got answer all the riddles, but then you'd have to put on add a burden to put the ring on anyways. So we would rather just add a burden to prevent this. So we will do just that. So prevent that assignment. So now, thanks to that, the free peoples can assign as we see fit. And we're looking at the Ranger with 8 and Faramir with 11 because of the sword and because he's strength +2, because he's Easterling Guard is roaming. So we will have him face him there. And it is 11 versus 9. And he's also, he's damage +1 as well. So he would just annihilate the Easterling Guard. And because he's got the banner on, let me double check the game text. Each time bear wins a skirmish, I forgot to do this before, but each time the bear wins a skirmish, you may heal another Gondor companion. So we can heal the Ranger here. So that's good news for him. Okay, and there's one Twilight left in the pool. We know the next site, they would have 1 + 1, 2, 5. They're still roaming, so we know it's a good chance. Even if there was another vision from afar, you know, they couldn't use it on a Easterling Lieutenant, so we would move again. So we had 1 for the site and then 3 for the companions. So the shadow player has 6 cards. We can add 2. Oh, Eastland Captain, nice card. Oh, we can pull out Gollum. Not really enough burdens yet to make Gollum too strong. Yeah, so really at this point, we could play the Lieutenant, not have him really do anything and then die. Or we can just play Evil Smelling Fens to add them to our support area, and that's really it. So all this really does, it makes each site marsh, which we don't really care about for this deck. But the main purpose of this card is to exert Gollum twice and to discard this condition to play a minion from the discard pile. So we'll throw that down here in the support area for now, and that will be our turn. So now everyone is in site 3. So now we'll look back again to our left, but now in the Free People side. What do we got? We got 7 cards. Knowing that these guys aren't as useful, we do have a couple of those, what are they called again? Gathering to the Summons. That's a Gathering to the Summons card, which if you spot a Easterling skirmishing ringbound companion, I believe you can add a burden. So we definitely don't want to just ditch these guys, but maybe we'll ditch one of the more expensive ones just to free up a slot in our hand. And then we'll draw 2 cards. Oh, King's Mail, very good. So we really need Theoden to be pulled. I guess we need Gandalf too over. Oh, almost forgot. We're at a Sanctuary. So let's heal. And let's add a mount because of Ermir's game text. I know we have Firefoot in the deck, but for now let's add Rider's Mount to Ermir because he'll be strength +2 for each wound on each minion skirmishing him. So that's be quite sweet there. Trying to think. Kingsmail cost 2. Dunlend's not really big on damage +1, so I don't know if I would waste the cost yet. Rohan Helm, maybe that one. It's cheap, frees up the hand slot. All right, so that's another one. Okay, we're at 2 there. And I think that's good to move. So that's 3 for the companions. And then we're going to move on to site 4. We are at Ered Nimrez. The twilight cost of each companion and ally played at Ered Nimrez is +3. Ooh. And the twilight cost, or the shadow number rather, is 2. So the Dunlands have 7. So we add 5 cards. I think I got enough there. All right, so we only have 7. And at least nobody is roaming. All right, at least Wolf has some stronger guys. Spot it, control. We only have 7. When you place minion, we discard. So 7. Might as well play this guy. When you play this minion, the free people may discard 4 cards from hand to discard it. Yeah, that'd be pretty good because 18 versus, you basically force the opponent to discard half their hand, whether they like it or not. Mm-hmm. Don't control any sites yet. I might as well do that. All right, let's see. So I would say because I might as well get rid of these guys. They're not as useful. Maybe Kingsmail. Hearken to Me is just, I know we don't have Gandalf or Theoden, but it's just, I don't know, it's just a strong card in my opinion. Especially with dealing with the 2 towers block. Theoden's just naturally pretty weak in this one. And Easterling Captain's just like a beast. It's definitely not him. Or her, depending on if you look at the eyeshadow. Yeah, let's go with that. All right, so I'm gonna discard to trigger the game text, to discard this card. And then that is all we can play then. So that is that. Because of that, these guys won't move again. So now we'll look to the right for the Free People's side. They're pretty good on the shadow side. These two might be able to force, hopefully can force some site control, maybe. So maybe we'll just add one card. Let's see. Art of Sanctuary, so let's hear that. So one thing I forgot to mention, so if you are a fan of these types of videos, be sure obviously to like this video, subscribe to the channel, all that fun stuff, hit the bell. But another thing to mention is that for the next 2 videos, we'll be doing the Return of the King block. And the Return of the King block will be a little bit more challenging because it doesn't include the reflection set, set 9. So when I was building those decks, I was including set 9, and it was a lot easier. And not being able to incorporate set 9 or any of the other previous sets into the Return of the King block decks is extremely difficult, I've been finding. So I might break up the video series with a special booster box break of the Mount Doom set. So we'll probably have like a 2 or 3 parter set. I'm thinking 3 parts because opening up 36 packs can be time consuming. So maybe we'll do like column 1 will be part 1, part 2 for column 2, like 12 packs, 12 packs, 12 packs kind of thing. So yeah, we'll do that for the next few videos. And then we'll use these cards to build one of the second Return of the King decks. One of the videos that kicked off this video series was the Emir starter deck kind of unboxing, I guess you can call it. Deck building. We opened up a few Mount Doom booster packs, I believe, a few Return of the King packs, and just did like an on-the-fly deck building session. So we'll do something similar maybe for the second deck for that one. So anyways, so yeah, back to site 3. So yeah, now that we are out of the site 1 muddy waters, we'll play our companion here, Gondorian Ranger. So this helps keep our site numbers of each minion higher than our current site, which is what we want because they'll keep our minions roaming. So play that for 2, and then we have another sword for 1, and we'll throw that on Ranger of Easterling. Oh, excuse me. And then we'll keep this guy for our skirmishes. We'll add 4 for the number of companions. And then 2 for the site. And our shadow guys can not get too many. Wow. Well, I guess good for Easterling captain, maybe. Oh, he's not roaming anymore. So he would get... He can use this boost twice. All right, well, let's do that. So we got him for 5. And that's really all we can do right now. So we got 11. And he would definitely go after... I would say Faramir. Well, obviously it's the Free People's decision, but I think from the Free People's perspective, we know we have this guy, and it's 4. We're at site 4, but then thanks to Gondorian Ranger, his actual site number is essentially 6, so he is roaming in skirmish eyes. So Faramir is 9, 11 versus 11, and he's damage plus 1. And then what we could do is do this to make Faramir 14 in damage plus 3. So 14 plus 14 plus 11. 14 versus 11. And then the Easterling captain can remove 2 once and then remove 2 twice to get up to 15 and then to beat Faramir. Because we spot 2 burdens. Now there's no more Twilight for him to do that again, but he is fierce. And we'd probably put him against Ranger of Easterling just to share the wealth a little bit, and then the Ranger of Easterling would take a wound there. So that's why he's pretty powerful. All right. Oops. Wait, won't discard him just yet because we want to ask if we're going to move again. And with this guy with no scratch on him, I think that's going to be an obvious no. No, we would not move again. So we move over to the left on the Free People side, and we just drew a lot of them. That's what we do. So we draw 1 card. Oh, got Gambling, excuse me, for 2. That's good. Beauty of him is that you can play his possessions during the skirmish phase. So that's quite awesome. Right of Rohan, we can probably hold on to for now. Don't need the spear for now. We can throw a spear on Earmere for 1. So he's getting stronger there. All right, and we'll save. So we got a couple of boosts. We'll have to remember that. And then a spear we can throw on Gambling, Warrior of Rohan. We can throw it on him during the skirmish phase. So we'll keep that in mind. All right. So that was 2 + 1 for the spear. So we are moving. There's 4 plus sight 5. While you can spot Aragorn, I don't believe any of these decks actually have Aragorn anymore. The shadow number is -2, so they will always have 8. So lots of Twilight for this one. Nice. So what do we have? 12, it looks like 15 to the Dunlend. I'm going to pick up 4 more cards. Try to move things along a little quicker here. Okay. So we have what again? 15. And nobody is roaming. Oh, over the Eisen. That is 0, so we can play that right away. Plays at the support area. Assignment, spot a site you control. We still haven't done that yet. And remove 2 to assign a Dunlend man to an unbound companion. That can be useful when it works. We have headman. Play this card. You may spot 2 other men to take control of a site. The free people may discard 2 cards from hand to prevent this. Ooh, the War Club. Okay, I think. Well, we can literally play all of this. So we'll do this one at a time for a second. So Held Chief costs 4. Spot a site you control. Again, we don't have that yet. Exert him to draw 3 cards. We can't do that yet. I'll wait to do this guy. We will throw out Worf. Let's look at this focus. He's fierce. If another Dunlend man wins a skirmish, exert him to take control of a site. We have the Elder, where you control 2 sites. This minion is strength +5, fierce, and damage +1. Probably won't happen this turn, but just another guy to bring out into the fold. That's 2, so it's 4. And then we have Dunlending Headman. When you play this minion, you may spot 2 other men, which we have, to take control of a site. The free peoples may discard 2 cards from hand to prevent this. So we'll play him for 4. So that leaves us 1 left. So yeah, so basically we will take control of the site unless we discard 2 cards from hand. I think we probably should have played this guy. Now Frodo might be in trouble. Looks like we're gonna have to throw out nasty foul hobbits. Gonna need these guys. Probably need this one. Hearken to me, we're probably gonna have to ditch. Sorry to say it. I think Gandalf's buried. So we discard them 2 cards to prevent that. So no site was controlled. And then we also have the War Club. And what we're going to do here is we're going to throw this on the elder to basically force discard. Oh man, I just realized something. Wow, you can spot 3 unbound. Well, man, we just got gambling. So while you can spot 3 unbound companions, shadow cards may not discard cards from your hand or from the top. So may not. So I don't think this actually, because it doesn't, it's not forcing it, it's just given the option. But that's an interesting gameplay question. If you know the answer, definitely leave a comment. Leave a comment below, but I'm pretty sure this still applies because this card doesn't force you to discard. Shadow cards may not discard cards from your hand or from the top of your draw deck. And saying that the Free People's player may discard. So it gives you the choice. So I don't believe it applies. Either way, we'll play it like that. But because this would be the guy, well, I guess Frodo's either way, he's strength 3. You're gonna have to put the ring on anyways. To strength him +2. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's kind of on the ropes at that point. Anyways. So we got the maneuver phase. Don't believe we got anything. We have archery, nothing. Now we have the assignment phase. This is where things will get a little dicey for the Free People side. We know the weaker one has to go to Frodo because he's the only one that won't die. If another exerts, and we know that if another wins a skirmish at the start of the skirmish phase involving bear, each minion at the start of the skirmish involving, okay, just want to make sure the timeline of everything works out okay. Because we want to make sure that the shadow player doesn't take control of a site. That's kind of key. Okay, I think that's good like this. Because then what would happen is we would do Emir's skirmish first. He would exert because he's mounted. And then now he's 7 plus 2 plus 2, 11 versus 10. I don't think I'm trying to think, would you even bother putting, because I would have had to put, but it doesn't really matter if he had the club, because he would always get the exertion. I'm trying to think if there was kind of like if there was a way that, like from either side of looking at it, if there was a way that kind of an unbiased way that the shadow side would take control of a site. But I think no matter how you would see it, Worf would play Ermir and he would get that exertion and he would never be able to use his game text. It's kind of shitty against Rohirrim decks because when they're mounted, even with like hides out there. But anyways, so he would die, and then we'd probably, at this point it wouldn't really matter. We'd probably move to the Frodo. Actually, what's the War Club? You may discard 2 free people's possessions. Yeah, I'd probably want to do that. Oh no, well, probably do Eowyn's first and then that one. Because with the War Club. So we got Eowyn. Let's see. So we got you know what? I'd switch. Sorry, backtrack that because we don't spot any villagers to make Eowyn damage +1, and because of Gamling's game text to make him damage +1 when adding possessions, we would switch the minions there. But still focusing on these ones first. Let's do Eowyn. So she's 9 versus 10. We would play probably an honorable charge for 1. Make an unbound companion, strength +1 for each Rohirrim man you can spot. So that's 3. 12 versus 10. So this guy dies. Then we would move over to Dunlending Elder. We'd be forced to put the ring on. So make Frodo 5, strength 5 versus 9. Frodo would take a wound, which would actually be a burden because he's got the ring on. And then because of the War Club, each time the bearer wins a skirmish, you may discard 2 free people's possessions, which sucks because we would definitely dish the sword away, and probably at this point the mount, because the mount does a lot of damage. So that sucks, but it is what it is. And the next, the Glamling, oh, look at this guy's here. The Glamling battle, the Gamling gambling battle. It's 6 versus 10. We throw the spear on for 1. That makes him 8, but then 10 damage plus 1 because of his game text. And then we would play Fight for the Villagers for 1, which makes him 12 damage plus 1, which then kills the Hill Chief. And I actually, and then we would, so we're in the regroup phase, so the ring comes off Frodo. Actually didn't do too bad on the free people side, but I think at this point we'd play it safe and not move. So both sides would reconcile. And then now we look to the Ringbound Rangers to play their free people's cards. It's 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, good, we got another Gondorian Ranger. We need the +2 action to keep them roaming. All right, I'll keep those guys down here because they're not really fighters. Let's clear the Twilight. So we'll play another one for 2. Got Ranger's Bow. We'll probably play Mablanc with the Ranger's Bow. Play that exhaustion bow action for 3. That's 3. Maybe, I don't know, would we throw a sword on him? If he's not really going to fight. Got another bow. It's going to be a lot of Twilight next turn. Hopefully we can draw some shadow for the Easterlings. We'll see. Well, the good thing about 2 towers block is Ulair and Kay isn't really a threat for having a lot of companions, so why not? Let's just go for it. So we got Ranger of Ithilien with a bow and a sword. Might as well do it. Gotta put him down to the 2nd level though. So there's another 5. That's 10 plus, what is that? 4, 6, 8 companions? Jeez, that's almost the limit. Plus another 8 for the site. Because I gotta use my die here. Okay. And I think I'm gonna go. So this is what's left of the hand on the left. So I think I'm gonna just go full throttle, discard this card, draw a fresh 8, hope for the best. Let's see what we got. 1, 2. Oh, geez, and there's an amount which would have been perfect room. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Oh, come on. 2, Seriously, another evil smelling fens. For one. There's 7 for the evil smelling fens. Easterling army. Jeez, it's too bad we didn't get the damn captain this time around. And then 3 for the lieutenant. Or lieutenant. And then gathering to the summons, so this would be good at least. So that kind of sucks. All right, we'll try to make this quick. All right. So yeah, there's no, I'm just trying to double check. There's no maneuver. Everything really happens in the skirmish phase, even with their ranger's bow. All right, so for the assignment 13, exert this minion to make an Easterling +1. Probably should have moved a flag over to. Did I give? Oh no, I did. Okay, well, that's okay. Let's give. I don't think it really matters too much how it ends up playing, because there's going to be a lot of exertion and whatnot. So basically, Easterling Lieutenant's going to go with Faramir, and then here, I'll play it in camera, but our Mablong, Ranger Boat, and Easterling is going to just face off head to head. And basically what will happen is one burden will be added because of gathering to the summons. And then the Easterling Lieutenant will just quickly die from Faramir. And then Mablong will exert twice to exhaust Easterling army and then pick them off with the Ranger bow. And that's basically quickly and dirty what would happen. And I don't know, would they move again? I don't see why not. They've only played well, maybe not. They did play 4 cards, you would see, so might be safer just to leave it. All right. So now both players are at site 5. We move back to player 1. We're already like top of the hour of the game, so we'll try to speed things along a little better. Spot Gandalf. We haven't really seen Gandalf yet. I'm not too worried about the Dunlend possessions or artifacts. I know hides is a possession, but at this point I'm not too concerned about that. So let's just dump that. And 2 more. All right. So what are we on? got another mount. Oh, Frodo's cloak. At any of the site, discard the possession to remove a burden and heal Frodo. Ah, he's not doing too bad. Maybe we'll hold on to that for now. Okay, we'll play Welland for 1, Smith of the Riddermark. Discard if an opponent controls his home site of 4, site 4. Exert him to heal a mounted companion. It costs 1. And then we'll throw a mount back on Airmere. We'll save the shield for gambling probably, and then fight for the villagers. That's great now that we spot a villager. Oh, this will be good in case we get slightly swarmed again. You know what? Let's throw the cloak on Frodo. Why not? Let's free up the spot. So basically, all this will do will, because we're past site 4, oops. Because we're past site 4, discard this possession to remove a burden and heal Frodo. So that might not be, that'll be pretty handy later on. If I can get this in there. All right, and then we add 4 for the companions, and then we're on site 6, and that is 3. So we have 11. And one more. Okay, some good shadow action here. We have 11 to work with. Each time this minion wins a skirmish, you may spot another minion to take control of a site. Okay, that's good. A boost, good. We can play with that. An axe. Each time this minion wins 8. Oh, we have, okay, nice. We have, so maybe we're best off just playing 2 Hillman Tribans. So each time this minion wins a skirmish, you may spot another minion to take control of a site. So that's 3 and 3. And then we have let me see, 4 for Hillman Ramble. Each time this minion wins a skirmish, you may stack it on a site you control. If stacked on a site you control, play this minion. If its try cost is -2, so not bad. And then we have enough for an iron axe. So we'll throw that on one of the Hillman tribes. All right, so this might be a little more interesting. So we have 10, 12, and 9. And now Eowyn no longer has her sword, which definitely hurts us. We do have a +3 boost. We do have the helm. What does the helm do again? Discard this possession to cancel a skirmish. A minion in this skirmish may exert to prevent this. I think we may have to use that. Yeah, because I think, so both Hillman tribes will go against the brother-sister combo. It's 6, they're 6 and 9. And I think we're basically forced, oops, I get my hands mixed up here. We're basically forced to use the helms at this point. Otherwise, they'll take control of a site, which we really don't want them to do because bad things will happen. So we will use the helm, discard this possession to cancel a skirmish involving its bearer. So it's canceled, so that means no one wins or loses, and we'll do that for both of them. I think that's just the safest bet at this point. And then with Gambling versus Hillman Ramble, we can throw Rohan's shield on Gambling to make him 10 damage +1, so they're tied. And then play Fight for the Villagers to make him 13 damage +1 to kill the Ramble. And then we definitely would not move again. These guys would disappear. All right, so now Rohan has made it successfully to Site 6. Now we're looking to the Ringbound Rangers to do the same. So we gotta draw 4 cards. Oh, got some nice shadow cards. How many more? 1 more. Okay, so nothing to really play, but some good skirmish boosts. So spot a Ringbound Ranger to make a minion's sight MR +2. If that minion loses the skirmish, you may wound a minion. Pretty handy card. So good to know. Everyone's pretty heavily wounded. Let's see, is there any maneuvering we'd want to do though, is the big question. Maybe move a banner around. Do we have Boromir, my brother? What does that do again? Discard a Connor card to make him strength +1, right? Or to make a Ringbound man strength +1. Okay. All right. So who would we have fighting? I guess ones with the swords. We might move. Move a banner to the non-wounded ranger of Easterling, and that'll cost us 1. But aside from that, I think we're okay. Oh, geez, I completely forgot. We have Sam's pack over here. Oopsies. So Sam's pack, at the start of each turn, you may add 2 to heal a ring-bound companion. Damn. Only could have been doing that since like turn 2. All right, so we'll add 2 to heal 1 on Mablong. We just played him last turn, so we could have done that to him anyways. But yeah, it is what it is. So we'll move. So for companions, well, 3 for the site, that brings us up to 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 for the, including the companions. 13. All right. Ah, damn you, Gandalf, where are you? At this point, I don't even know if do we even bother keeping Shadowfax? We might need them, but I don't think this card we definitely want to keep, because in case we get swarmed by Dunlend. Alright, so let's hold on to Shadowfax for now. We'll just draw 5 cards. 1. Six. Oh, there's Gandalf. There he is. Oh, there's my 8. Wow, that's really it, eh? Shadow on this draw has been kind of wonky. I guess it was pretty strong in the beginning if it was against a regular, well, a non-ring bound deck, but well, actually might as well play it this way. So we'll play Easterling Skirmisher. So we'll play him for 1, but then he adds 3, 1 for each burden. So that's a fun one. So it plays him for 1, but then adds 3. Then we must have it. You can play a golem from golem from your draw deck. So let's do that. So we'll play Golem Stinker. Give a little shuffle. Oh, we're burning through the deck pretty. I like having to discard some cards from those Dunlends. forget what happens if you run out of cards. I think you're just kind of stuck. I'll have to double check the ruling on that. I know there's a card where it's like, if you have, I forget what it's called. It's from the Fellowship block. If the number of cards in your draw deck plus the number of burdens you have equals 12 or something like that, you lose. Or so Golem he's strength 5, but he's +1 for each burden. So he's actually strength 8, and then each time he wins, you may add a burden. So usually in this deck, he becomes really strong. But then, remember we have a couple of these guys. So exert Golem twice and discard this condition to make a minion, to play a minion from your discard pile. So because he's not as powerful as, oh wait, and he costs 2. And let me double check what we have. And we have 13. And because we're not as powerful, or he's not as powerful yet, might as well use him to bring out somebody that is quite powerful, such as the captain. So he cost 5. So we can use his effects 4 times. Yeah, so that's quite awesome for that. So we'll bring him out. So we got 5. So we have 8 Twilight left. So that's where we're at in this stage. But we do have vision from afar here. And what we're going to do here, we will use one of these. So we're done our Twilight, or we're done our Shadow phase. What we'll actually do, so initially what I was going to do was just have this guy fight Frodo, and then if they didn't, add the burn to prevent it, you can just play Gathering to the Summons to at least add 1. So what we will do is, because I have there's no Frodo protection that we're aware of, we'll use vision from afar. Because there's no maneuver, there's no archery phase, we can skip over that. We'll play 2 to force the captain to Frodo. Obviously he's gonna add a burden to prevent that. And then now we can add another burden to eventually, once we get to that point. So Gollum is getting a fair bit stronger there. So Easterling's only 5, so we definitely want him to fight somebody who's on the weaker side. Gollum is now 9. So you'd probably want, see the problem with a captain is that he can boost anybody at any point in time. And we need somebody else to win to heal Mablung to take out the captain. Mablung. See, the assignment phase is a little tricky right now. because right now we have 4 burdens. We can spot 4 burdens, and we can remove 2 3 times. So we can do +9. So even the skirmisher can become 14. But of course, like a ranger bow can pick them off. Oh, I forgot we moved. We do have these new errands. If the minion loses, you may wound a minion. If that minion loses the skirmish. So we can definitely... So I think this one ranger affiliate, which has, so he's 10 and he's got the bow with the flag. He will have to face the skirmisher. I'll put it out there just so it's more visible. Gollum will probably face Faramir. And then Mablung will face the captain. I think that's how we're going to play this. And then for the skirmish, of course, gathering just adds a burden to Frodo. That was going to happen. I think what we want to do is play New Aaron. New Aaron on Easterling Skirmisher for both of them. If that minion loses the skirmish, you may wound a minion. Because then we can use exert him to then wound the skirmisher. To kill him. If that minion loses the skirmish, you may wound a minion. And then we can have him wound the captain twice. And then Mablung will exert to kill the captain. I think that is the best way to play it. And then Gollum is now 10 versus Faramir's 11. Wait, we have enough. Gollum is 3 plus 2 plus 2, so he's 7 during a skirmish. So yes, he is roaming. And he's got the sword, so he's damage +1. And there's no boosts. Yeah, so Gollum would lose. Oof. And because, gotta remember this part. And because Faramir and the Ranger both won, they both can heal, so they'll both heal. Well, I'll have to remember who did it first. He did one first. So he can heal him first, and then Faramir can heal Mablung, because that was after the Mablung captain battle skirmish. All right, I think that was kosher in the timing of things. All right, so we are now completed. Everyone has finished site 6. We're at Sanctuary, and we might take a mini break for a second. So in a second, we'll start off to the left, site 6. Rohan will play their shadow. Not their shadow, they're free peoples. All right, next up we have the Rohan playing on site 6. So we already drew our cards. Luckily we drew Gandalf and Theoden, so lots more support there. So first thing we'll do is we'll throw Rider's Mount over to, let's see, probably let's throw it over to Eowyn. That'll cost us 1. This way we can give Firefoot to Éomer. Basically it's like a regular horse, but when Éomer is the bear, he's defender +1. So that with a spear will be quite strong for him. So that costs us 2. And then to save us some Twilight this turn, maybe we'll hold on to Theoden for now, and we'll only do Gandalf and Shadowfax for 6. Although with Gandalf you do get a strength bonus the more Twilight we have, so maybe we will just throw in Theoden, why not? Even though we did have to dump Hearken to Me. Let's go for it. We'll throw in Theoden. So at this point he might just be somebody who just gets kind of thrown to the wolves if we get any strong Dunlenders to face. So it costs 2. And then now we will move. Oh, I almost forgot. From the site text, play possession to draw a card. So we did play 1 possession. Yes, mounts do count as a possession. So we can draw 1 card. Nothing that will benefit us right now. So we move, we add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the companions, and then 6 for site number. We're moving to the Hornburg wall. Regroup phase, spot your minion and remove 9 to make the fellowship move again this turn, if the move limit allows. Interesting. So I have to remember that as the shadow player. And we'll have to remember also, just in case, that's our only kind of skirmish event card to play as the Free Peoples. So quite a bit of Twilight to play. We still need to draw our cards. Just if we're going to discard anything, we'll probably hold on to that guy. So we only have to draw 2 cards. Hopefully we get some minions. Oh, not too bad. Oh, we got hides, so we'll definitely play hides for 1. And when you play, so hides is a possession. It's played to the support area. When you play this possession, you may draw a card. And then essentially, It just prevents wounds from your Dunlend men. So if you're about to take a wound, you can remove 2 or discard this possession to prevent that wound. So having lots of Twilight helps with that too. And also helps us control, if we want to keep the Twilight down to reduce Gandalf's strength, that kind of helps as well. So that helps us. So we draw our card. Hopefully it's another Twilight or another Shadow. Nope, it is not. Not a big deal. We got a War Club, which works great for us. We have these weaker guys, but they're great against Rohirrim men as their strength +2. We can even have them fight the ally if we choose to, which isn't a bad idea because he can heal mounted. Would even kill him though? Strength. Well, we'll see. Okay, well, let's play this guy anyways. So we'll play both of these guys. They only cost 2. And then we'll definitely play the Hill Clan. Each time this minion wins a skirmish, you may play Dunlend man from hand. Unfortunately, we don't have. Or what we could do each time, we could always hold one of these guys back. That man is fierce. I don't think it's... That man is fierce and damage +2 into the regroup phase. Each time this minion wins a skirmish, you may play a man from a hand. Maybe let's try it out, see how it works. We'll hold one back just to use the Hill Clan's game text. So we'll hold one back, and then in which case we'll give this guy the War Club to boost him up. So he's basically 9 against everyone. And then we do have some strength +2 boosts in our back pocket, so that's good. And then that's basically our battle here. We know we don't have no strength or skirmish boosts on the Free People's side. All right, so for assignment, I don't think we're gonna, actually he's 9 now. So maybe we will force, this way, this guarantees that he'll win the skirmish. So let's do that. Spot an ally to make that ally participate. And assign this minion to the skirmish. Let's make sure that focuses. So spot an ally to make that ally participate in skirmishes. Assign this minion to skirmish that ally. So why not? Let's do that. So basically it is our 9 versus 4 of these 2 guys here. And there's nothing the Free Peoples can do about that. And then the Hill Clan 17. I think he's stuck going against Airmere unless we want him. Oops. Twilight there. How much Twilight do we have left? Just so we see. So we have 12 Twilight left. All right, so the Hill Clan. Unless we want to kill off Theoden, but I don't think. Actually, you know what? That might be our best bet because we're past the sanctuary and we don't want Airmere to take any wounds here. So let's do that. So these guys will face off against each other. So basically, we'll do this one first. Theoden will die. So he'll go to the dead pile. And because of that, because of him winning the skirmish, we may play a man from our hand who is now fierce and damage plus 2. Oof, jeez. All right, and the next skirmish, so this guy has to be assigned 2. This guy who's fierce and damage plus 2. So this guy will do this skirmish next. Actually, I think we can, now we have to, it's kind of a timing thing because now this guy comes into place. We have to assign this guy. So I think we can not necessarily have to resolve this skirmish. We can now assign this guy to battle, who's fierce and damage plus 2. So I think we're best off putting him against Gandalf, because Gandalf is now 12 against his 5. Because he doesn't have the strength plus 2 bonus. And his 5, even with the strength bonus here, he can only make it up to 9. So he would not win, unfortunately. But we can remove 2 to prevent his death. And then he is fierce, so we'll hold on to him for now. And then we'll go to this guy. And then what we could do here is resolve this skirmish. Waylon would then die. He goes to the dead. I believe allies go to the dead pile as well. So we'll put him in the dead pile. And then what we use here is each time the bear wins a skirmish, you may discard 2 free people's possessions. And definitely, as much as it sucks for the free peoples, we would definitely discard our super strong horsies, which that one stings a lot. And then we have this fierce battle. And then again, he would face off against Gandalf, as Gandalf is strength 10, and this guy doesn't get any bonus. And just looking at the Twilight, we do have 10 Twilight. And if you recall from the game text, what we could do is force the Fellowship to move again, which would kind of suck with what we kind of have already in play. I know these guys aren't the strongest, but they are strength plus 2 against Rohan. So maybe rather than removing 2 to prevent this guy's death, we just kill him off and then force the free peoples to move again. So let's try that. So Gandalf kills this guy. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And then we can remove 9 Twilight, spot a minion, and then force the Fellowship to move again. They add 5 for the companions. That brings them up to 6. And then add 7 for the sight. So not sure if this is a good or bad play, but let's try it out anyways. And then the shadow, the text for this sight Ring of Isengard is play a Dunlend minion to draw a card. So this may have shot ourselves in the foot a little bit because we're kind of pushing the opponent closer to the goalpost, but let's try it out anyways. So because of that, I would say it's worth dumping a Free People's card to hope to get some more minions. Oh geez, and we got another one. Oh man. No, where's all the minions? Oh, there's one, and we got one more draw. All right, not great, but you got some strength boosts. When you play this minion, you may spot two other. You may discard 2 cards from hand. So I would say maybe we'll hold on to this one because of the fact that we can use the Hill Clan game text again. To play the Dunlend Headman. So we'll do that. And we won't be able to draw a card. That's the only downside. But then this guy will become fierce and strength or damage plus 2. So let's do that. All right. So I think Gandalf and this guy face off well because of right now it's 7 versus 10. And again, he doesn't get the strength bonus against Gandalf. And then I think it sucks. I think we have to send, what is he, 9? Aramir's 9, Glamling, keep on screwing up his name. He is 8. We have no strength boosts. So this guy, we don't know it as the Free Peoples, but this guy will effectively kill somebody. Okay, I know we wouldn't know that as the Free Peoples at their strength boosts, but although I think right now, when she's lost her sword, we're probably best to, knowing that risking anything, we probably would want to just kill her off. So let's play it like that. So because of the War Club, we'll do this battle first. So Hill Clan, we have no strength bonuses on the Rohan side, so Hill Clan kills Eowyn. Each time this minion wins a skirmish, you may play a Dunlend hand or a Dunlend minion. So that costs us 4. And then also when you play this minion, you may spot 2 other Dunlend men. What you do to take control of a site, the Free People may discard 2 cards from hand. Based on free people's hand. Their only hope really is to keep these cards to try to corrupt the thing. So I think the best bet is to let the site control to happen. So they're going to take control of site 1. And now this guy is fierce and damage +2. Oh man, that's nasty. And then now we have Gandalf versus this guy. It's 10 versus 7. And then we do have some strength bonuses. We will play 2 to make this guy 11. So Gandalf will take a hit. Oh, and then with the War Club, we can remove two possessions, and of course, we're going to get rid of the Rider Spears, so the Rohan are just getting pillaged. And then this guy, oh wait, oh, I played that wrong. So before we had to resolve that, we could have done one of the first skirmish of the Headman guy. So the first one, so he has damage. Just trying to see what. Nasty. So he's damage +2, so he'd probably face off against Gambling, maybe 10 versus 8, but he's damage +2. With the damage +2, Gambling would lose. So this has just been pure madness, pure carnage, and he's still fierce, so we'll keep him there. And then now, Dunlend Ravager, again, same thing, we'll get the double boost. Gandalf will lose, get 1 hit, and then we'll lose 2 possessions. Now there's only actually 1 possession. Although we do have Frodo's cloak, which we almost forgot about. So we can actually get rid of that one, which probably wouldn't have saved us anyways. And now we have a 10 versus 10 Headman. He's damage +2. No sense using a strength bonus on him there. Damage +2, so... Oh no, he would die too. Shoot. Oof. Yeah, I guess... Airmere, I'm trying to think what's the best one. There should be more mounts in this deck, so probably best to kill off Gandalf. I know the strength bonus of having Twilight is good, but with hides, the Twilight tokens is gonna deplete, so I guess we're gonna have to kill off Gandalf. So just for a recap, I think in the last 2 turns we lost everyone except for Frodo and Airmere. Nasty. So obviously the Rohan is not going to move again, so forcing them to move this turn was definitely a pretty smart play. So they're not going to move again, so we'll reconcile. And all right, so now it is the Ringbound Rangers' turn. They're on site 6 Sanctuary, so they can heal up to 5 wounds. Let's take a look at their hand. And at this site, you can play a possession to draw a card. So we got Faramir's Bow. He is an archer, which is a great added bonus. So he's an archer, so we'll add to the archery total. And then he also, his skirmish game text is similar to the ranger bow. Basically, if Faramir is skirmishing a man or a roaming minion, exert him to wound that minion. So we'll throw that on Faramir. That costs us 1. Next we'll play Ancient Roads. It's kind of additional support similar to the Gondorian Ranger to help make sure that our the sight number of our minions skirmishing a ranger is making sure that they're roaming during skirmishes. So that costs 1. And all we have left is basically some skirmish events, so we'll hold on to those for later. And we will move. We have 6 companions, so add 6 to the Twilight Pool. We're moving, and then we add another 6. 6 Twilight, so we are at 14. All right. Let's see what we have. Oh, we have 3 Golem Stinkers. We'll definitely play 1 for 2. We'll play an Easterling Skirmisher for 1, and then add 4 for his game text. We will use the game text of Evil Smelling Fens. Exert Golem twice and discard this condition to bring out, of course, the Easterling Captain with all this Twilight. Where are we? With all this Twilight, he will be very powerful. Of course, if he doesn't have to take on Mablung, or Mablung. So we have him there. What else can we play? We must have it. This is a good strength boost for Golem. So we'll hold on to that for now. Let's get discarded. All right, and then just for Twilight count, so you know for the Easterling Captain, we are at 14. Okay, so archery, we do have 1 archery. Thanks to Faramir's bow. And we'll probably have to put him on the captain here. And I think, what is the best play? We'll probably have to do the same thing where Mablung plays against the captain. Easterling Skirmisher probably up against the Ranger with the bow. Actually, maybe I'll swap out for the top row. We have the Ranger of Easterling with a bow, a sword, and the banner of Westerness. So we'll have him play the Skirmisher, and then we'll have Faramir play against Gollum. And just to confirm what the site number is for each minion. So right now we have 2 Gondorian Rangers, so each minion assigned to a skirmish to a ring-bound man is +2, so +4. So +4. Just by these guys alone, just the Eastlings would be roaming. Gollum would not be, but because we have ancient roads, while you can spot 3 rangers, the site number of each minion skirmishing a ranger is +2. So Gollum is in fact roaming as well. So good to know there. All right. So because we want to take care of the Easterling captain first, let's just double check. Could also cancel a skirmish, but we might want to hold on to this for later on anyways. But yeah, so let's deal with the Easterling captain's skirmish first. Mablung would exert to exhaust and then exert to kill him. And I know in the past questions have been asked about whether you can quickly use his skirmish bonus, say for the Easterling Skirmisher, and then boost him up. But when you use these skirmish boosts, this happens only for the instance of that particular skirmish. It doesn't happen until the end of the turn or until the regroup phase. So we can't quickly boost up, say, the Easterling Skirmisher before he dies. So thanks to Mablung's great game text and pairing with the Ranger Bow, it basically strickens this guy to be kind of useless, or not as powerful rather. So he is taken care of. And then next, let's look to the Easterling Skirmisher. He only has 1 Vitality up against, and he's only 5 Strength now. So actually, yeah, just from 8 versus 5, he would lose against the Ranger of Easterling. So he's good there. And because with the banner, we can heal another one, so we'll heal one of Mablung's. And then for Faramir, we have 10 versus Faramir's 9 +2 for the roaming, so he's 11. And I always forget, but yes, he is damage +1 as well. So what we could do is play this card. We must have a discard a card at random from hand to make Gollum strength +3. All right, so that's pretty random, I think. So let's do the top card of this one, and it is, served as bonds. Kind of sucks for the Rohirrim side because that was Frodo's probably saving grace to survive. But now Gollum is now 13 versus Faramir's 11. And so he's 11, so we'll play 1 War and Valor to make Faramir 14. So it's 14 versus 13, and Gollum then dies. And then because Faramir has the banner, or does he? Oh, pretty sure he does. Yes, he does. Because Faramir has the banner, we can heal Mamblong again. So, whew. The Ringbound Ranger synergy is quite strong. All right, so that's that hand. All right, and then on the regroup side, we could force the other guys to move again, or they could just move again. I think at this point, because whether or not we would force them to do it or not, or whether or not they would, I think they're situated to try to catch up anyways. I think they would try to move again anyways. So let's say that they would decide to move again. So there's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I think I missed one. The 7th companion adding the Twilight last time, so I'll add an extra one there. But 7 again, plus another 7, so there's 14. All right, so lots of Twilight for these guys. I don't know if his spears would even help us really. Yeah, because we're kind of screwed either way, because I'm pretty sure we're out of companions. Anyways, we might just want to discard the spear and just hope we get some good draws on the shadow side. Eesh. There's 1, 5, 6, 7. All right, not the greatest. Again, this deck doesn't really work well against Ringbound Rangers, but getting Frodo up to 5 burdens actually isn't terrible for this deck. But all right, so let's try this out. We'll do 4 for this one. And I realized too, the Easterling Skirmisher, it still worked out okay last turn, technically, because I could have played Gollum, then pulled Easterling Captain, then played Easterling Skirmisher to play the effect. Just more of a timing thing. But just to be mindful of the game text, if this will focus, it's when you play this minion, you may spot another Easterling to add 1 Twilight for each burden. So just be mindful of that. So we add 4, or remove 4 for Easterling Guard, remove 1 for skirmish to play Skirmisher, spot the guard to add another up to 4 for all the burdens. Not that it's gonna help us too much, but and then play 2 for Gollum, and that's all we have. All right. I think we'll do something similar. We'll do Mamblong against Skirmisher, Faramir and Golem, and the guard versus the Ranger of Easterling. We're at 8 now, so everyone should still be roaming because of the +2, +2, +2. So that's +6. Yeah, so we're good. We're confirmed that basically +6. We're good for the rest of the game. Essentially, everyone will be roaming during skirmishing. That's good. We'll get those bonuses. Let's just take this one at a time. So Mablung is 6 versus the Easterling skirmisher's 5. So nothing else really needs to be done. The skirmisher just dies. And then over here we have Ranger of Easterling. We have 6 + 2 plus the additional 2 for the roaming minion factor. And he's damage +1. So again, Easterling guard dies. And then we have Faramir versus Golem. We have his 11 versus 10 again with damage +1. He wouldn't die, but he would take 2 hits. Yep, that's really it. And so now at this point, I'm trying to think. You move once. You can only move twice a turn, depending on the number of opponents. So basically, you're capped to move once, then twice. So the Ringbound Rangers unfortunately can't triple jump for the win. So now basically they'd have to stop the Rohirrim from making it to Site 9, which shouldn't be too challenging. So let's see how this goes. All right. Assuming the draws work out. 4, 5, 6. Oh no. No, when you play. Oh, I guess they have to. I almost forgot that. The Rohirrim side has to do the Free Peoples first. So let's see how many cards we have to draw. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not much they can really play here. Let's put development. Yeah, this guy is useless. Yeah, Gandalf is already dead. So basically, honorable charge won't really help us. But yeah, we'd move, add 2 for the companions, and then Site 9. Orthanc Library. When the Fellowship moves to Orthanc Library, each Shadow player may draw a card for each companion over 4. So we got nothing there. That does nothing. So the Rohirrim may actually survive. By the skin of their teeth. Okay, so we can play hides for 1 and draw a card and hope for a minion. Oh. Nope, no minion. So literally all we can play is this guy. And Aramir can take him on. He wouldn't win because we can play some boosts on him. But Frodo would survive and the Rohirrim side would win. Believe it or not. So it's touch and go there for a bit. But just by Frodo surviving Site 9, the Rohirrim deck, the Rohirrim Easterling Burden deck wins it, despite not being able to actually corrupt Frodo. The Ringbound Ranger side definitely was a little more robust. They would definitely have no chance, they would definitely have no chance of being overwhelmed next turn. That's for sure. All they would really have to deal with is another golem that they would easily be able to take care of with some Mublung action, and so they definitely would have survived. So yeah, that's the game. That's the face-off of the two simulated decks. Hope you enjoyed this. The video is a bit long, trying to do like a simulated game like this. So that's the end of this part of the video series. The next one will be the Return of the King block, which I mentioned earlier in the video. It should be very interesting because of the fact that using only sets 7, 8, and 10 to make a couple of decks is quite the challenge. So we're going to break up the video series with a booster box break. So stay tuned for that. I've been itching to open up some packs, so we'll be doing that very shortly, so stay tuned. And if you're a fan of the Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings cards, I'll be opening up a few boxes, or I guess a couple of boxes of those as well. So yeah, so be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell so you get notified of all those booster box breaks, and hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.